everybody, it's Amanda from the Fundamental Home, and I'm getting ready to show you the video where we share what we spent in groceries last year. However, I forgot to mention at the beginning of the video, in case this is your first time watching us, what our family situation is, how much we're spending now. So we actually have a family of 6 people. 6 grown size people. So it's my husband, myself, my 21-year-old son, my 19-year-old son, my 15-year-old daughter, and then one of my son's friends moved in with us last year, and he's staying with us, and he is a 22-year-old man. So we have like 4 grown men in our house, and then me and my 15-year-old daughter, and so we're feeding a lot of mouths. And with all of those people in this house, our budget is currently $65 a week for everyone. Okay. Now I will say this, the guys during the week, when they are at school or at work, they're responsible for their own lunches. So I'm not paying for any fast food or anything. We do have things here for them to make and use, and they're welcome to do so, but most of the time they choose to take care of their lunches on their own. So that does impact the budget in a few different ways. But we do also have a link down in the description box. I'll have one for our blog post called How I Feed My Family of 5 for $100 every month. That was our old budget plan that we used to use years ago when we have 5 members of our family and everyone was a lot younger and smaller. And so, and our budget was a little tighter. So that way that we purchase our groceries, the way that we meal plan hasn't changed. So we are still on a tight budget. We've just got a lot bigger people and a lot more people. It's just one more person, but it feels like a lot more. And then it's just expanded. So you need that information to kind of hear the whole story of what we're spending and how we're spending it. So without further ado, now that you have that information, let's talk about what we spent this year. Hey everybody, it's Amanda from the Fundamental Home.
I'm Rick.
It's Rick. And today we're really excited to bring you a video on how much we spent last year on groceries. If you guys don't know, last year we did a video about how much we spent last year on groceries. I'll link it up at the top and you guys can check that out and you can see the difference. Last year was a little bit different because last year we started the year with a very low budget. And by the end of the year, we had Marquise. So we'd started last year, I think our budget was around $35 a week. We increased it to $50 a week by the end of the year because we had Marquise staying with us. And he'd only been with us for a couple of months, so we were kind of experimenting with that. So when January 2018 started, we were starting at the $50 per week budget amount. But we quickly found out, because Marquise had only been with us for a little while, that that wasn't sufficient. So we eventually raised it up to $65 a week. So we have our totals here. I wrote them all down. And the first thing I'm going to do is share with you, and I haven't shared this with Rick yet either.
No, I have not heard it yet.
You're getting his raw reaction.
Raw.
How much we spent each month, and then I'll tell you what the total is.
Okay.
So our budget should be, for every month, because we are doing $65 a week, $260 for the month. So for January 2018... we spent $290.37. So we went over budget.
Right.
But we actually had 2 big expenses that month. First of all, that was when we did our very first vegan week experiment, which I'll link that to the top too.
I remember.
That was when all of us were eating a regular diet except Ricky was gluten-free. But we decided to everybody try vegan for a week for Food Diaries. Yeah. That was a fun week.
Yes. Everyone enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Everyone was there with you.
You want to go vegan now?
Huh?
Yeah, I didn't think so. Anyway, but we spent extra because we'd never eaten vegan before.
first time.
So we put a little extra into it, and also
it was an experiment.
That was when we bought our Zaycon chicken. Now, of course, unfortunately, Zaycon has since gone out of business. But at the time, we got 40 pounds of chicken at 99 cents a pound, which was a tremendous deal. But that was $40 extra over and above that we said we were going to go ahead and buy. Right. So that accounts for why we were over January 2018. Okay. February 2018, we spent $270.51. Again, just about $10 over budget. So, you know, for so many weeks, that was pretty reasonable. Nothing major happened that month. It was February. Right. Nothing romantical happened. It was just a regular month. So we were fairly on budget. Then we get to March. Are you ready for March? Don't look at my numbers. Okay. Okay, you can't see it.
March on.
March. Oh my. So in March 2018, we spent $295.87. And I know what you're thinking. You went over again.
Hurt me.
No, we didn't. You know why?
Now, I'll tell you, I'm not an expert on math. But that appears like it went over just a tad.
It appears like it. But there were actually 5 weeks in March.
Oh, you're very sneaky, Mrs.
5.
Beal. You're a sneaky Mrs. Beal.
So we actually should have spent $325 and we only spent $295, so we were actually under.
Okay,
so that was
I
pretty
got
good.
you.
That was
I
pretty
got
good
you.
month. That was a good month.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
In April, we spent
April.
a little extra in April.
Uh-oh. I feel some April showers coming on.
There were only 4
Some
weeks
teary-eyed showers.
in April.
Yeah.
We spent a little extra though.
Well, why is that?
I'll
Tell
tell
me
you in
why.
a minute. Let me tell you the total. $391.71. Almost $400.
Man,
I know.
makes my feet hurt.
Here's what we did.
I don't know.
Here's what we did that month though. We spent $147.
That's yours.
We spent $147 at the Dollar General clearance.
Oh, the big one.
That was the big one. That was
that
the
the one with the, say it,
coffee.
coffee, okay.
Exactly. I got like
That carried me on for
6
a long
months worth
time.
of coffee.
Okay.
I'll link that at the top too if you guys want to check that
Makes
out.
total sense now.
So we stocked up on a lot of things. And by the way, these totals, generally speaking, are just food, not our personal items. But
Right.
occasionally we include personal items in that total. And there was a lot of personal items in that Dollar General clearance. So, but I'm not going to go through and pick out each individual amount. This is all part of, generally speaking, what we spent on groceries.
Right.
So it was a lot of money. It was
Yeah.
a big month, but we do budget for the Dollar General clearance every
Sure.
6 months because we like to stock up when we can. But anyway, that was the big month. All right, May.
Mm-hmm.
May was over too. It
I
sounds
see-
like I'm doing bad.
I see a trend here.
Are you feel? Just wait. Just wait. I'll tell you about May, then we'll get to June. You'll like June.
I didn't need coffee. My heart rate is already pounding.
All right, May. Nothing crazy in May, except there were 5 weeks again in May.
Mm-hmm.
So $329.59.
You hide behind these 5 weeks.
I mean, it's not. I can't help how many.
No,
weeks
I know.
there were.
I understand. Go ahead. Go ahead.
$329.59. So it was like $4 over for the whole month.
Oh, that's nothing.
Perfectly reasonable.
Absolutely.
Perfectly reasonable.
Probably changing in the bottom of someone's pocket.
I'm going to tell you about June.
June. You made up for it in June.
I did because June
Yeah.
was low spend month.
And you did not have to buy coffee because you were so frugal and smart months before.
That's true. And we also went to Michigan in June.
Yes.
So we were gone for like a week, most of us.
Mm-hmm.
And you were here. It was just you eating. And
Yeah,
all of our
I
trip
had,
expenses were
Ricky.
covered.
But him and I are the we light eaters.
Are you ready for the June total?
Yes.
You're gonna like it.
It was awesome.
$142.73.
You did it.
$142. That makes you feel better, doesn't it?
You can stop right there.
I can't. And in fact,
let's walk away winners.
I got to tell you what happened in July.
Did it fall apart? It was my birthday, wasn't it?
It was.
You showered me with a high spend month.
July was the biggest spending month of the whole year.
Really?
Yes.
Why is that?
I'm going to tell you why. Let me tell you the total.
Okay, tell me first.
Prepare yourself. It's a good thing you put the coffee down.
Yes.
$506.92.
Now, where was I?
You were here. That was the month we got the cow.
The cow.
We got the eighth
How
of the
did
cow.
I forgot about the cow.
I will also link that.
Well, that was a good purchase.
That was also a stock up
and
purchase.
that was a purchase that bit us for a moment, but we bit it back because after a few months later, we were really still doing good.
If you remember, because I know you're probably not, we actually did the June low spend month at the 142 because we knew the cow purchase was coming.
I remember now.
So we saved up. And then we did the cow.
That was a really good thing.
It really balanced. If you put the two numbers together, it balanced out pretty well.
You have to look at the big picture, is what you're telling me.
Exactly.
Okay.
But we're taking it month by month, and we're talking about it. So some months were big, some months were smaller, but we did prepare when we knew a big purchase was coming. We spent $260 on the eighth of a cow. And you and I will talk about that in a minute, but we do agree that it was a great purchase. It was a good idea.
Yes.
Okay. So August came along, and again, when August came, we just spent all that money on the cow. We trimmed it a smidge. So we only spent $259.56 in August. September came, we only spent $278.45 in September. Right around the budget, because remember it's supposed to be $260, so it was like $18 over for the whole month.
Oh yeah.
Not too bad.
Oh yeah.
October came. We actually only had a couple of hauls in October because we traveled a good portion of October. So we only spent $156.47.
I would think so.
In October.
I would think so.
Because you ate steak.
You were gone.
Yep.
They left me for a week.
We traveled. We didn't leave you.
Oh, you took off.
Okay.
I woke up one morning. They were gone. I was saying,
Anyway.
family, they were out of here. But I had my cow. so
You were eating steak and potatoes. You were fine.
I did all right.
In fact, if I remember correctly, you even made a video about making potatoes.
Yes.
I'd link you to that one, but y'all don't want to watch that. If you want to see it, I'll link it in the description box.
That was a good week.
His alone week.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
I made it through. The first time I've ever been alone for an entire week in my entire life. That was it. And I vlogged it.
And he vlogged it.
Yeah. I mean, I think about it. I lived at Mom's house all those years. And then when I left Mom's house, I was with you.
Monologue.
I had never been alone ever in my life. I'm almost 40 years old. That was my 1 week. It was me and the cow and a deaf cat.
And the deaf cat, yes. All right, back to the grocery spending.
I just felt like sharing for a minute.
November, we were pretty much on budget. We were under budget, actually, for November.
Budget. That's good.
$251.37, and that considering that was Thanksgiving, I mean,
isn't that amazing? Well. That's amazing because it's not November; it's the food month.
True.
I know all you frugal family food people. You talk about it. It's the food month. People starve themselves all year so they can eat in November.
They do nothing of
the
sort.
Yes, they do.
They do not starve themselves.
I've heard them talk.
No.
No. Okay.
All right. This month, December, we actually went over again. We went a lot over in December.
Christmas thing.
Yeah, I don't know what's been happening the last few weeks, but we've been spending a lot. But we spent.
You know what it is? I know what it is.
Tell me.
Well, we got the three guys.
Yeah.
And then myself.
Yeah.
We're growing guys.
Oh, you think you've grown since January?
I think I've hit a growth spurt.
Okay.
And I won't say Brianna because she's a lady.
Yeah, no, that's not a good idea.
But definitely, Marquise and Ricky and Brian have started to bulk up. Huh?
I don't know about that.
They are bulking up. They're becoming very impressive.
Anyway, did I tell you the total for for December?
No, you did not.
$400.97. We're way over for December.
Oh, did we get a cow?
There's only 4 weeks. So
was there a cow
there's
in
no
there?
cow.
What were they?
There's only 4 weeks. There's no excuse.
Man, that's at least a partial cow.
I mean, we should have bought a cow is what we should have bought. But anyway, so if you added up do you know what we spent last year? Let me tell you what we spent all of last year. Now, remember I said the budget was different. We had less people. Last year we spent
Last year it was super small.
$2,403.60. That was last year.
Say it again.
$2,400
$400
and $3.
$3. Okay.
And 60 cents.
60 cents.
All right, this year, you ready for the grand total?
2018 is what?
All right, this year we spent $3,500.
Yes.
$74.52. $3,500. So we're like $1,000 more. Okay, but before you think that's a lot, let me break it down a little bit. Can I break it down?
Break it down.
Let me break it down for you.
And then I got.
You're gonna feel better about it.
Then I got something to say.
On average,
yeah,
we spent $297.87 a month.
Okay.
So on average, we're about $30 over each month.
Mm-hmm.
That's not too shabby.
No.
That's not crazy when you
That's
consider 6 different people in the house. On average, that's $49.65 per person per month. So under $50 for each person in this house every month, which breaks down to $1.65 per person per day, or 55 cents per person per meal. So about 50 cents for each person for every meal. So on average, there's 6 of us times 55 cents. That's $3.30 for every meal.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
That's pretty good. I mean, when you look at the total, $3,500, it sounds like a lot.
I agree.
But when
you have to think of an entire year. And I also, in my mind, I have to remind myself that just the guys alone are like 3 grown guys.
They're not like, they are.
Yeah, exactly.
Grown guys.
I mean, these are not Marquise, Ricky, and Brian.
Grown men.
We're not talking about, little kids with diapers, Tonka trucks, and rattles.
Yes.
These guys, they got beards.
That's true.
They're grown people. They need to eat. And actually, you're doing great.
Thank you. I appreciate your support.
Yeah.
We averaged $68.74.
I'm trying to clap. One clap didn't do it. Hold on.
Give it to him. Thank you. Thank you so much.
You need multiple claps.
I appreciate that. All right, we did on average.
I know how to clap.
We did on average $68.74 per week.
Yeah.
So every week we're about $3 over.
Okay.
So there you go. That is our totals for the year.
But next year you're gonna have to get with it.
We're gonna have to do something. So hopefully we're gonna have some people leave the house this next year.
Oh, we probably
and the
will.
budget can go down a smidge.
Yeah.
But so let's talk about a couple of the things that we did that impacted the budget. Obviously, let's talk about the cow, because that was the biggest major expense in terms of adding to the budget. We already agreed that was a great idea.
Yes.
Okay.
I agree.
So this year, I definitely think we will probably end up doing a cow again.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because I think it was helpful to have it.
We stretched it out.
We did.
It was helpful to have it. It was actually less stress in the long run because you always knew. That's why I think getting the freezer was a good idea.
Oh, we should probably mention that too. Last year, we even said one of our goals for this year. We actually set 2 goals for this year. We set the goal of getting a freezer, which we did get. And we set the goal of buying a cow to see if that would work and be more cost effective. So both were successes. When you put the freezer together with the cow, did it cost us any less money? No. Per pound, it was still a pricey expense. However, when you factor in just the fact that it was here and there's a stress factor to that. When you factor in the cost of driving back and forth to the store, which it really didn't save us any money because I'm taking weekly trips anyway. But just the idea that sometimes if we run out of meats, I've got to buy things. Like this past week, I had to buy some meat that was more expensive because we didn't have any beef here.
I want to say that just the peace of mind alone is something to point out. I work with a guy who always talks about stocking his freezers, plural. And I never thought it was a big deal because I've never really had that. My mom had a freezer, but as a grown man, I've never had that. So I always kind of felt okay with the one freezer with the refrigerator and a little teeny one, But having this one, being able to put a lot of meat in it, does give you a peace of mind. Especially when, here in North Carolina, this past year we've had a hurricane scare and we've had the snow and the ice and all this stuff already.
We knew we had food.
And the grocery stores they're swarming with people grabbing anything and everything. And it's so good to know that, worst comes to worst, hey, we got something, we'll be all right. It adds a lot to your peace of mind. And I think that's a good thing. So it is good, I think, to get it all at one time.
Now, the reason why we hadn't gotten it before is because years ago when our budget was so tight, there's no way. I mean, we just didn't have any extra to even save for a freezer.
Oh, no.
So it's important to point out that the Lord's really blessed so that we've increased our budget. And we have been able to put aside some money from savings to put towards that large expense. So other people might be in a different circumstance. They might not have the ability to go get a freezer, and they might be thinking, man, I wish I could afford that. And I understand that we've been there. But if we can encourage you, if there was any way you could possibly do it and you don't have a freezer, you should get a freezer. You should make that a priority.
At least put it on the list one day in the future when you can.
Even if you're just saving $1 here and there and have a little jar and just start putting towards it. It's important.
You would be surprised how good it is to have an extra place to put stuff, to stock up, to have. I mean, like I said, if you can't afford it just yet, okay. But if there ever comes a time that you have a stock of money and it's like, do we buy a big screen TV or do we buy a freezer?
Get the freezer.
I'm telling you, buy a freezer. In the long run, you'll be glad I say, that you did. Yeah.
Same thing with the cow. honestly,
Everyone can sit around and just watch the freezer hum.
Feel good
You don't
about
need a TV. Just watch the freezer hum.
the same thing with the cow. We would have never thought about doing that years ago because we just didn't have the money to buy in bulk. But both experiments, both buying the chicken in bulk and the beef in bulk this year, both experiences were good experiences. And we would highly recommend people doing that again because it made such a big difference. There's the peace of mind cannot be under spoken about. But in terms of finances, if you find a good deal and you can get it all at once. And I'm not just talking about a good deal in terms of price. I'm talking a good deal in terms of quality. So the whole idea of getting the beef was getting the local grass-fed beef and seeing if it tasted any different, if it made any difference.
And it was really good. I mean,
you could taste the difference.
It was
I
good
didn't
quality.
Try
it, she did not. My vegan wife did not. But I'll tell you, I mean, a lot of it. I mean,
they raved about it.
I mean, there was some of this grocery store stuff that you buy is just loaded with, it's just fatty, I guess, and all that kind of stuff.
Is that what the difference tasted like?
It just wasn't like that. It was really you were if you were frying it in a pan, it was meat that you were frying. It wasn't just you weren't just sautéing some fat.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It was good. I could tell the difference. Even the ground beef.
Yes.
You remember?
Well, I don't remember because I didn't try it, but I
but
know
you remember they talked about it.
They did.
And I talked about it.
They did.
I mean, you think ground beef is a hamburger. I mean, how special can you make hamburger? It was a lot different.
They said it was a lot different.
It was a lot different. I never thought about that because to me, hamburger's hamburger. I never really thought that there's better quality hamburger where you can eat it and not feel so icky the next day. All the grease, all the oil.
Yeah.
It really wasn't there. It was a lot better.
So I think
so. It's not just buying a half a cow or a quarter of a cow. It's actually knowing the farmer and buying something that's actually good.
And we actually know that farmer too.
Stocking up on something that's good.
That farmer is in our homeschool group, the one that we bought the cow from. So it's good to also have that peace of mind as well, that you know the food that's coming in the house. Again, when our budget was so tight before, we couldn't afford that. It was something that we wanted in the future. In fact, I talked about it. I did a Q&A years ago. I'll link it. I'll either link these at the top or in the bottom. You can find all the links down there. But I did a Q&A years ago when I was talking. People were complaining about the quality of the things that we were buying years ago when our budget was super, super tight. But the thing is, and you have to understand that we didn't have that tight of a budget just because, we were just trying to starve everybody or anything. And we weren't starving by any means. But that was the amount of money that we had available. And so we were doing the best we could at that time with what we had. And our goal was, even then, as money came in and as we were able to, we would get better things and more things. And so that's what we've tried to be faithful to do. As more money's come in, we're not rolling in riches. All of a sudden we're not wearing, name brand things, or this is all clearance and thrift store people. But we haven't moved. We're still living in our same house. We haven't bought new furniture. We certainly don't have big screens rolling around here. And our truck is not new by any means. It's over 200,000 miles. But what we have tried to pour the extra money into where we can is getting better quality food and more food in this house for the people who are here. Because our priority has always been to eat well on a budget, to be as healthy and high quality and high nutrition as we can with what we have. So as the budget has grown a little bit, we've increased the food budget and tried to make better choices. So this is the direction that we're going. So this year, I think we're definitely going to try to buy more bulk meats and try to buy them from farmers, because we feel better about the quality and we feel better about having it here. And we've figured out how much we're spending. We've looked at all these numbers that we have. And if we're taking $260, we think we can take that amount of money and put it towards stocking up on the meat that we have. And then we can put our daily purchasing things into other things. So, and this year I think we should definitely set a goal. Now that we've figured out how to improve the meat, the goal is to try to improve the fruit and vegetable quality that we have. Because right now, what we've been doing, because fruits and vegetables can be very expensive. And I'm vegan now, and Ricky's sometimes vegan. So, and you guys, even though you aren't vegan, y'all need your vegetables too.
I love vegetables.
Yes.
That's what I grew up on.
So we are definitely, we said this last year, we said it every year, but we're going to
Oh,
say
I
it
know
again.
what you're going to say.
We're going to say it again.
I know.
We're saying it until it's done.
Yeah.
Don't judge us, people.
Oh, my.
We are just people.
I know where you're going to go. Let me go get coffee while you tell them.
No. You say it, because I don't want to say it.
Are you talking about the G word?
The G word.
I can't say it.
You know what we're saying.
We're going to grow a garden, people.
We're going to try to grow a garden. Again.
Now.
Again.
Yes.
Again.
We've come close now 2 years in a row.
This could be the year.
2 years, we have come close. It's not like there's been no effort. We have the prettiest dirt around here.
We've got great dirt. We've got a tiller. We did get the tiller last year.
And where I thought it wasn't working right, I struggled with it.
Marquise got it going.
Marquise, I tell you, he humbled me. Because he went out there, he was sweating terrible, but he got it done. Pretty dirt.
So we've got dirt. We've got a tiller.
You got seeds.
I've got M.I. Gardner seeds galore.
There is absolutely no reason why I believe this is going to happen. We got people pulling for us here.
Pray for us.
This is the garden year. This is going to be a YouTube experience. This is going to be Instagram worthy. This is going to be big.
Don't judge us, people. Just don't do it.
We'll have the cow in the freezer, and we'll have the salad grown in the yard. It's going to be awesome.
Just support our efforts. Just support the efforts. It's a goal. We really want to do it.
Oh yeah.
It's like anything else.
My
have you
dad
ever
has one every
Yes.
year. Yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to say, have you ever really wanted to do something like lose weight or quit smoking or like save a lot of money or any of those goals that people have? And then when you actually start to do it, it like gets really intimidating and it just falls apart. That's what the garden is for us. Like every year we want to try it.
That's
and
fair.
It's just super intimidating. It just falls apart.
That's fair.
But we're going to keep trying until we get it right.
Yeah.
So, but the problem is that we're public. So just be gracious to us. Just be gracious. I just want to say, because I feel like a lot of people are like, a garden's so easy. It's not.
Oh, I know. I know that someone right now is thinking, what is wrong with these people? Put a seed in the dirt. And I can hear
not
myself,
that easy.
yeah. And I think, okay, we should just,
But we're going to do it this year.
Yeah.
We're doing it. You look iffy.
Well, I've lived here for the last 2 years. I understand that. I mean, there's like two different realities here, but I do believe it's going to get done this year.
Okay.
You know why?
Why?
It's got to.
It's got to.
Now, if it doesn't grow,
it's going to grow.
that's not on us necessarily. I mean, it could
Well.
be all kinds of factors can ruin it, but
There will be seed and tilled dirt this year.
I do believe the effort that's ours
Yes.
will be made this year, Lord willing.
If nothing else, we can put seeds in dirt.
Yes. I mean, we've had pretty dirt tilled for 2 years.
This year we're going to put
If
seeds in
if we can
tilled
get to
dirt.
the next step,
Yes.
I'm walking away a winner.
Okay.
If the seeds get in the dirt,
Okay.
that's all I need.
Winner.
Okay?
Okay.
Even if I don't get a tomato, I will still feel like,
The intimidation factor is strong with me.
yeah.
All right. So there's the garden.
It's going to be good.
The garden is one thing.
I have the meat, have the vegetables.
But even if
What
we
else?
have a garden, we're not going to have like a huge one. So we're going to have to get fruits and vegetables elsewhere. So this year I want to expand.
I think the idea of getting a garden is putting our toe out in the water.
Yes.
And opening up a whole new realm of possibilities on how to have fresh fruit.
Yes.
Fresh produce, fresh vegetables.
Yes.
Vegetables. And but other things to do, everything from a farmer's market to continuing on at your discount grocery, which is really where we got a lot of our produce this past year.
Correct.
And that's why we had a variety of different things, because
Yes.
the discount grocery gets different
bulk
things
of
all
it.
the time. You know, you never know what you're going to get.
Exactly.
So
I do think we should definitely look into options to getting fruits and vegetables from our local farmers, whether farmers market or actually getting to know some.
and we actually have a nice one here in the county.
We do. In nearby counties too. So,
Even, I mean, in all honesty, even folks at our church bring produce all the time.
That
and
is true.
They just leave
People
it on.
share.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, there's options out there.
correct. But that is one of the goals this year. So we're definitely going to continue to buy bulk meat, and we're going to work on the garden. And we're also going to, in addition to the garden, try to find other options for getting higher quality, better fruit and veg. So those are our goals in terms of groceries this year. Now, none of that has anything to do with saving money per se.
No.
But I think we are still on a budget. I think we still spend significantly less than the average family. And we are going to continue to spend significantly less than the average family because our budget hadn't gone up that much. But I think we're trying to use that money wisely now that we have some breathing room, rather than just going and buying like lots of chips and cookies and snacks and things that, you know, you could spend your grocery money on. How about this year we work on trying to improve the quality of our food in other ways? So this is how we're goal setting about our groceries and the money that we have and how we're going to spend it. Because again, the goal is to make sure that we are healthy, that we have the healthiest, highest quality food available to our family members. All right, so that's it. That was our last year's grocery budget, what we spent, our little year in review in terms of our goals and our goals for next year. So I hope you guys liked it. I hope it's helpful to you. Let us know if you have sat down and figured out what you spent last year, because I'd love to hear the different totals. If you guys have all the details, share those in the comments, because where you live makes a large difference in what your grocery numbers are. Different places have more expensive groceries. And there's a lot of different factors that go into it. So if you have a total, I'd love to hear what you're spending. Also, if you have any goals, that you have for this next year, things that you'd like to change, tell us about that and tell us how you're going about making those goals happen, because I think we can all support one another here and help one another to achieve those goals. And also on that note, we do have the Frugal Family Food Facebook community group.
Yep.
And if you head over, I'll put a link for that in the description box. You can come join us and we can all share hints and tips and tricks to help families eat well on a budget. And so, of course, our website, we're relaunching that January 1st. So we'll be able to share that with you. And in January, we're starting a January low spend month, just like we had that June low spend month. I only spent $140. That was the cheapest month we did last year. We're going to do another low spend month this January, and we're going to just take that budget right on down, so you'll be feeling good about the January budget spending. And January is a good time to do it because there's not a lot of fresh fruit and veg anyway, so we're not really interfering with our goals in the long term. So, all right. Well, come join us. Come hang out with us at the Fundamental Home on Facebook. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to us if you haven't subscribed, because we're almost at 50,000 subscribers, and we will be doing a big giveaway once we hit that number. So anyway, all right, close. That's it. You ready? Y'all have a great day.
Yes.
We'll see you next time.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye. Hey, thanks for watching. I'm really glad you came to visit us here at the Fundamental Home. Make sure if you enjoyed this video that you click the like button, and also click subscribe right below me for more videos coming into your inbox all the time. And also, if you enjoy social media, we've got links up at the top here for Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, all the other fun things. And check out thefundamentalhome.com for more information about what we're doing all the time and how we do it, because there's way more details there. And here over to the right, we have some videos that I recommend. So thanks again for coming by, and we'll see you next time. Bye!